Prince Charles just made a rare comment about grandson Prince George, and a surprise gift for him. Prince Charles is giving his 5-year-old grandson Prince George a gift that keeps on giving. The royal spoke candidly about a special present he planted for his first grandson just after his birth in July 2013 in the upcoming documentary, Prince, Son and Heir, Charles at 70. Speaking from his arboretum at his Scottish home of Birk Hall, Charles gestures to dozens of trees that were planted when the royal was born 5 years ago, and says, "This is George's wood. As I get older, all I really long for is to plant trees." Charles, who has a lifelong commitment to conservation and the environment, continues, "I hope it will be quite amusing for George, as they grow up, and he grows up." Charles' wife, Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, also appears in the documentary, adding, "You can't believe how much it's grown. It was tiny when it was all planted. The next thing you know, you're being dwarfed by it." Charles' son Prince Harry recently praised his dad for bringing attention to environmental issues. While in Sydney last weekend, Harry gave a speech at the Australian Geographic Society Awards, and referred to speeches given by his father almost 50 years ago that still ring true. "My father and others have been speaking about the environment for decades, not basing it on fallacy or New Age hypothesis, but rooted in science and facts, and the sobering awareness of our environmental vulnerability," said Harry. And while those speeches would sometimes fall on deaf ears, he and others were unrelenting in their commitment to preserve the most valuable resource we have, our planet. Prince Charles is about to become a grandfather for the 4th time as Harry and Meghan Markle are expecting their first child in the spring. Charles is already a proud grandfather to George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. Charles released a humorous statement after the birth of Louis in April. "We are both so pleased at the news," he said. "It is a great joy to have another grandchild. The only trouble is I don't know how I am going to keep up with them." Prince Charles has paid tribute to his eldest grandson Prince George in a new BBC documentary which airs next month. In the show, fans are given an insight into Charles' passion and work ethic, and his love of conservation certainly shines through. Standing in an arboretum at Birk Hall, his Scottish estate, Charles says, "This is George's wood." He motions to dozens of different tree varieties which were planted when George was born 5 years ago. "As I get older, all I really long for is to plant trees," the future king added. "I hope it will be quite amusing for George, as they grow up, and he grows up." In the BBC documentary, Charles' wife Camilla also features. She teased her husband about the long dry summer, saying, "He does rain dances most of the day, to try and get some more." Charles' 2 sons Prince William and Prince Harry also praised their father for banging the drum for issues such as climate change, plastic waste and marine conservation. "Whether it's dinner or tea or whatever and we sit there and speak to him, he gets so frustrated. You can understand why, when he cares that much and he's been banging the drum for this long," Harry says. The 60-minute show, Prince, Son and Heir, Charles at 70, will air next month to coincide with Charles' landmark 70th birthday. Filmmaker John Bridcut was given exclusive access to the prince over the past 12 months, both at work and behind the scenes, at home and abroad. Discussing the intimate portrait of the future king, director of BBC content Charlotte Moore said, "It's a real privilege to be given access to the Prince of Wales and those closest to him to mark his 70th birthday. This intimate documentary will offer a unique insight into his life and work and those who know him best."